In the name of Allah, most gracious, most merciful, welcome back to our reader, the second term of Black Beauty, chapter 4, as we study three chapters during the first term. We start with the characters in chapter 4, Earl Smythe, Beauty's owner at Earlshall Park, Lady Smythe, his wife, Earl Smythe's wife, and Lady Anne, Earl Smythe's daughter, York, Earl Smythe's helper. And Mr. Barry, a businessman who bought Beauty from the man in Bath, Filcher, Mr. Barry's helper who stole food, Barry's friend, the man who advised Barry to watch his helper, Filcher. Let's start. Earl Smythe's house at Earlshall Park was much bigger than Birtwick Park and more modern. The Earl's daughter, Lady Anne, liked to ride me around the park with her brother or cousins. I enjoyed these rides, which were sometimes with Ginger and sometimes with another young horse called Lizzie. I was a popular horse with Earl Smythe's wife as well as his daughter, but Lady Smythe always used me to pull carriages. She liked the latest fashions, and one of these was for horses to use special reins. These kept the horses' heads high in the air all the time while they were pulling the carriages. "How wonderful they look!" the lady said when she saw Ginger and me with our heads held high. But the reins were very uncomfortable, and it was almost impossible to pull the carriage up a hill when you could not put your head down. "If they don't tighten the reins more, I will do what they ask me," said Ginger. "I can see that this is a good home and that they are good people. But if they tighten them any more, there will be trouble." These are some questions on this part. How was the house of Earl Smythe at Earlshall Park? It was big and modern. Who liked to ride Black Beauty at Earlshall Park? The Earl's daughter, Lady Anne, with her brother and cousins. Which horse was with Black Beauty during the rides? Ginger, and sometimes the young horse Lizzie. What did Lady Smythe always use Black Beauty for? She used him to pull carriages. What was Lady Smythe fond of? She liked the latest fashion. And what was the latest fashion for horses at the time? It was special reins for horses. What did the reins force the horses to do? They kept their heads high in the air. How were the reins for Ginger and Beauty? They were uncomfortable, although Lady Smythe liked them. What's impossible for a horse to do? It's impossible to pull a carriage up a hill without head down. When will Ginger do what they ask? If they don't tighten the reins more. How did Black Beauty see the home and people? He said the home was good and the people were good. I did not like these reins at all, but Ginger and I continued to work hard. However, every day they tightened the reins a little more. One day we were both in a carriage together. The lady decided that she wanted the reins to hold our heads up even higher. I could see that Ginger was not happy. Before she could tighten the reins, Ginger began to kick so hard that she fell to the ground. I fell too, and we both had to be cut from the carriage as soon as possible. We were both hurt after the fall, and we were taken home. Earl Smythe's helper, York, was angry about the special reins, but there was nothing he could do to stop Lady Smythe's love of fashion. He washed our wounds with hot water, and it took a long time before we recovered. Ginger and I were put in a field to recover, but my knees were badly damaged. We were not well enough to run as we used to do, so we spent a lot of time chatting. Then one day the Earl came to see us with York. "I spent good money on these horses," he said, "but if they can't pull a carriage we must sell them." "I know a man in Bath who needs a good horse," said York. "He looks after his horses well. You should write to him." "York," said the Earl, "we can still get good money for Black Beauty, and I'm not sure about Ginger." The questions. Number one. What annoyed Ginger and Black Beauty during work? The rains were so bad. Number two. What happened every day? They tightened the reins a little more. Number three. What did Lady Smythe decide one day? She decided to make the reins hold the heads of horses up even higher. What did Ginger do when they could tighten the reins? She began to kick so hard. What happened to Ginger and Beauty when she began to kick hard? They fell to the ground. What happened to Ginger and Beauty when they fell to the ground? They were both hurt. What happened to Black Beauty? His knees were badly damaged. Was the helper York happy about the special reins? No, he was angry, but he could do nothing. How did York help the wounded horses? He washed their wounds with hot water. How long did it take the horses to recover? It took a long time. How did Ginger and Beauty spend their time while recovering? They were chatting. The last question. What was Earl Smith's decision about Ginger and Beauty? He said if they couldn't pull the carriage he would sell them.